Your brain is not built for disruption. It's built for safety, stability, and prediction. And in today's world where AI shifts markets overnight and new technologies redefine jobs, leaders who react to change are already behind. Those who attune to it, though, thrive. Attuning to change means training your brain to anticipate and leverage disruption instead of reacting to it as a threat. It's the first skill of neuroadaptive leadership, and it transforms fear into fuel. Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Jones, and I help leaders learn how to harness neuroscience to be their best in work and life and bring out the best of the people that they lead. I'm glad you're here watching this video, and let's jump into more information about how to train your brain for change. Our brains are wired with a prediction system called the predictive coding network. It constantly scans for patterns, compares them to memory, and signals threat or safety. When something unexpected happens, the brain's amygdala fires an alarm. This alarm floods your system with stress chemicals like cortisol and norepinephrine, preparing your brain for fight, flight, or freeze. Now that's useful for survival, but disastrous for leadership. Under chronic stress, executive function in the prefrontal cortex, this is the part of your brain that's responsible for judgment and empathy and strategy. Well, that area goes offline. Attuning to disruption rewires that process. Instead of being surprised by change, your brain expects it. When you anticipate volatility, you shift from reactive fear to adaptive readiness. And this then lowers the threat response, and it keeps your brain thinking online. Now, there are two types of disruptions that we face. There are micro disruptions and there are macro disruptions. Micro disruptions are small, everyday interruptions, a flight delay, a staff conflict, a software update that changes your workflow, things like that. They seem trivial, but how you respond trains your nervous system. And then micro disruptions are large-scale shifts, AI adoption, economic turbulence, global crises. They challenge identity and they require systemic adaptation. Leaders who regularly attune to micro disruptions build neuroflexibility to face macro disruptions with calm and flexibility. Think of it as mental strength training. Each small challenge you face builds your ability to handle the big ones. Imagine walking into a haunted house. You know something will jump out. Your heart races, your senses heighten, but you're not paralyzed. You expect the scare. You attune to your surroundings. You breathe through the intensity and even laugh at the thrill. That's the essence of attunement. You prime your brain for surprise. You're aware, but you're not afraid. You can choose your reaction within this. Leaders can do the same. Anticipating disruption prepares your brain's threat circuitry so you can stay focused, strategic, and creative even when the unexpected happens. Think about pilot training. Pilots train in simulators for every imaginable disruption, engine failure, weather shifts, and even system errors. The goal isn't to avoid surprises, it's to become comfortable with them. This repeated exposure rewires their nervous systems. Under real pressure, pilots remain calm, deliberate, and focused because their brains have learned that disruption is not danger, it's data. And then this clarity allows for focus and accurate decision-making, even among chaos. Research from Harvard neuroscientist Sarah Lazar shows that mindfulness and intentional awareness practices thicken the anterior cingulate cortex, the ACC, and the prefrontal cortex. These are the brain regions responsible for focus, conflict, monitoring, and adaptive control. So being aware of disruption strengthens the very circuits that help you handle it. Also, studies on stress inoculation, those studies show that controlled exposure to manageable stressors helps the brain build resilience and regulate emotional response. This is how military and emergency leaders prepare for chaos. They repeatedly attune to simulated disruption until calm becomes their default state. So here are 2 neuroscience-based practices to train your brain to attune to disruption instead of avoiding or fearing it. The first one is disruption scanning, and this can be your daily mental warm-up. At the start of your day, take 2 minutes to ask, what changes or uncertainties might I encounter today? How will I respond if things don't go as they are planned? This primes your predictive coding system. When disruption hits, your brain recognizes it as expected, reducing amygdala reactivity. Over time, this rewires your threat response into readiness. Studies on mental simulation show that visualizing challenges actually improves performance by activating similar neural pathways as real experiences. The second thing that you can do is use controlled exposure to micro disruptions. This is intentionally introducing small discomforts into your daily routine. Take a different route to work. Sit in a new seat at a meeting. Ask for feedback you usually avoid. These small acts teach your nervous system that uncertainty isn't dangerous, and it's an opportunity instead for adaptation. And when you do this, you're building cognitive flexibility, which is a key trait for adaptive leaders. So in a world of constant disruption, leadership is less about controlling change and more about coordinating with it. When you attune to disruption, you transform uncertainty into insight. You feel the tremors before the quake, and then you stay steady when others spiral. So remember, effective leadership isn't about predicting the future. It's about preparing your brain to meet it with clarity and courage. While I hope this video was helpful, if it was for you, please share it. Give me a thumbs up, hit the bell. That way you receive my new videos every time I drop them. Have a great day.